We have lots of earnings to discuss, earnings movers this morning, and for that we bring in Alonso Munoz, CIO, Hamilton Capital Partners. So first up, we have Airbnb up 14% plus this morning. It's been a great performer. Some of your thoughts on this name?
Good morning, Nicole. Happy Valentine's Day. So we thought that they crushed earnings. I mean, beat on the top and the bottom line. Bottom line, I think EPS 73 cents versus 58 cents expected. So it was really good, and obviously the stock is moving. The investors are seeing that reacceleration in growth in the fourth quarter. Night's bookings were 111 million, which was exceptional, much better than expected. So this is a company that is seeing a little bit of reacceleration in growth over the last 12 months. It struggled from a price performance standpoint. So it's an interesting company and an interesting business, and we think that the macro tailwinds are supportive here.
And so as I was looking, on this quarterly beat, and it reported the profit for the quarter, gross bookings, I think, were just a little shy, but we are seeing a slew of upgrades this morning. Bank of America has a 170 target. Needham has a hold. Benchmark has an adjusted, they have 178 and a buy rating. And so we are seeing some of the price targets higher than where we are now, Baird and also Jefferies too. So a lot of these analysts all with higher price points than where it is now. Some of your thoughts on this stock? You mentioned the stock performance. The low was 110 last August. It's at 141 as of yesterday and 160 this morning.
Well, that's right. So we've struggled over the last couple of earnings calls, I think, for the last year and a half. And this was an earnings call where the investors, I think, could get excited about future growth and where the company's headed. Obviously, there's some structural issues that we need to deal with in the housing market, and Airbnb, suffers a little bit from that. But we're in this big travel boom. Younger consumers want to travel. They want experiences. We saw this with Taylor Swift and the effect that she had on the economy. And Airbnb is obviously a beneficiary of that. And upcoming, we have the World Cup, we have the Olympics here in the United States, which is the biggest market for Airbnb. And so some of the catalysts would be for them to penetrate international markets as well. And so this is a company that, if they can continue to reaccelerate, it's an interesting play.
All right, next up we have DraftKings, folks, and this one has an up arrow. It's up about 5% this morning. It's more about the outlook and less about the quarter because the loss widened, but the stock higher on the upbeat earnings, the upbeat outlook overall for DraftKings. Some of your thoughts on this name?
That's right. So pre-market up 4, 5, 6%. They missed on the top line, but they beat on EPS. And I think investors got excited that management reiterated their guidance for 2025. Adjusted EBITDA could reach $1 billion for 2025. So that's something that was exciting, given the fact that this company was losing money not too long ago. So again, normalizing sports betting, moving away from that sort of vice, narrative. And this is a company that could continue, just like Airbnb, to reaccelerate growth within its industry. 1 year,
the stock's up just 6%. Year to date, up 25%. So it really shows you the accelerated move this stock has had. You have DraftKings and FanDuel, which is Flutter. I'll take a look at that chart in a moment. But overall, I mean, you've had more legalization, more gambling. You don't really see that trend slowing down.
No, we don't. And DraftKings is in 25 states. And if they can have this, I mean, it's a state and local issue, but if they can penetrate the rest of the market, we think it's a huge opportunity. And they had a blowout Super Bowl, I think over close to $500 million in handle. So again, investors are seeing this, getting excited. DraftKings is making interesting acquisitions. Their customer acquisition costs are coming down, and they added close to 3.5 million customers last year. So again, a growth story, and the guidance for this year is that gravy train continues.
Yeah, you make a good point. I mean, they have the ability to continue to grow double digits, according to Bank of America. Flutter, by the way, is 1 year the better performer, up 32%. That's the parent of FanDuel. But to your point, I mean, more and more legalization, and that's good news. And Super Bowl did particularly well for these names, and more. I mean, in fact, I think that New York, now that we had more legalization, actually had more bets than Vegas. It just shows that now it's just a more common thing. And be careful, folks. I always say that. But final thought on this name, on DraftKings here.
Well, the tailwinds are, supportive. We have a strong macro backdrop. Labor market is tight. We're seeing consumer data that's strong. We get retail sales data here at 8:30, if not already. And so that consumer spending money being out there, similar story to Airbnb, that growth could continue through 25 and 26.
And how are you feeling overall about the week that was, the week ahead? I mean, overall, you have a market thought for us today?
Well, volatility. We think volatility continues, but overall, earnings have been great so far, and we expect a good 2025.
Good to see you.
Good to see
Alonso
you.
Munoz, Hamilton Capital Partners. Thank you for being here.